Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 36 of Civilization 5 as Korea. I decided, if everything is going to go according to plan, that this should be the last video on this series, and I didn't want to end up with one random video on its own on the following week, so the plan is to get this video done and uploaded so that it goes out on Friday directly after 35, so you can see the end to the series. Looks like it's going to be a science victory, I admit, a bit of a boring victory, but we're playing Korea, so it's hardly a surprise that we've managed to beat everybody else up the tech tree. Saying that, I think it would have been a lot faster had we actually been able to get some research agreements early on in the game. That didn't go too well for us. I love how the rail bridges don't actually turn into a rail line as it goes over the bridge. Never noticed that before. Obviously these turns are taking a little bit of time, mainly given the fact that we have a fair few city-states. Mongolia stole electronics. Awesome. So what have we got here? Cusco has finished the rocket booster. I don't actually think there's any other spaceship parts we can build. I think they're all being built. Let's go ahead and build a giant death robot, just because I said to you guys I'd love to build one, because we're probably not going to get to use it. I might just declare war on Morocco or something just to attack them with it. But let's go ahead and get the spaceship part moved down into Seoul. We've got a cargo ship here, who I assume was going somewhere previously. Let's get this onto highest gold, because that's probably where they would have been going. I guess you can go to Rabat. It's slightly more. It doesn't really make any difference at this point of the game, actually. Doesn't make a single piece of difference. So we've got 10 turns until the stasis chamber is complete, 14 turns until the engine is complete, and I think that is actually the longest part we have to wait on, because we have got the cockpit and 2 of the boosters. The 3rd booster is here, just on its way. So it literally is just going to be those 2 parts. Got no interest in getting involved in any wars right now. We're about to get another great artist. No, sorry, a great musician. Then we've got a great writer coming in 11 turns. They're going to be a little bit pointless. It's a shame. I was very much hoping that we could have got a not a diplomatic victory, a cultural victory. Because I always think that the cultural victory is one of the harder victory types to get, especially on high difficulties. And it's one of the slightly more interesting ones. It's one that is slightly more involved, because you've got so many more things to take into consideration. You need to make sure that you get wonders and stuff. And we have just picked up globalization, which does double our tourism output. So, sorry, globalization, not it's the internet that doubles your tourism output. That's the one that gives us the extra spy. So we could even possibly get a diplomatic victory, although the next world leader's in 24 turns. So, no, we're still on for a science victory at the moment. Daegu has grown, as has Zhengzhou. You don't really have any good tiles you can work, which is a little bit of a shame. You're not building anything all that useful either, so I'm just going to leave you to carry on as is. Musician, let's just go ahead and create a great work. Doesn't really matter an awful lot at this point. Let's go ahead and get that spaceship part where it belongs. So let's add you to the spaceship. There we go. And let's just have a quick look at the tourism. So we are popular with Morocco. It would take 35 turns to become influential with them. It would take 115 turns for Persia, and that's it, really. It's only those two civilizations remaining that we'd need to flip. So the big problem is Persia, and that's mainly because we don't have a trade route, because they've been embargoed, and we don't have a shared religion. They have different ideologies. What are they like in terms of happiness? Yeah, they've still got loads. I mean, we do have slightly more happiness than them. But yeah, we are not going to get a tourism win, which is a shame. It would have been nice, but I think we are still going to win. I haven't seen any indication that any of the AI are anywhere close to being able to beat me at this point. So, assuming that I go ahead and win this, it will be a legitimate win. Oh, now you want a declaration of friendship because you're afraid. Yes, let us work together. He's completed the Apollo program. Yeah, everyone's so far behind us. Now, yeah, this wasn't the best of wins because I should have done it a lot faster, but given that this is going to be a legit win and I do want to actually move up through the difficulty ladder, after this game I'm going to move on to Immortal. Don't know who I'm going to play as yet. I was thinking maybe either Poland or Russia. They are 2 of the stronger civs. But we'll have to see how it goes. Someone's moving a missionary or something through there. I just saw them get attrition, but must have been these guys that I saw. Not an awful lot that we can do on this turn. Iron to Askia ended. Now, fortunately, Darius is our friend now, but it's not going to help us with anything. We still can't trade with him. And he probably... Now, his happiness is dropped again a little bit. Do we have open borders with Persia? I think we do. Yeah, we do have open borders with Persia. He only wants the declaration of friendship because he is afraid. That's fine. Let's go on to the next turn. I say we should be really, really close to a win. And I know that as an episode, this one's probably a little bit boring because all we're literally doing is just waiting for your stuff to complete, really. We've got literally no growth going on here in Daegu because I'm trying to just maximise production to get this part built as quickly as possible. But that's fine. Let's just have a quick look at our ideologies here. Great engineer and great scientist, yes. May finish spaceship parts with great engineers. I don't think we actually have any spare great engineers, though, which is the problem. At least I think we've used them all up. I don't think we've got any lying around, so that hasn't helped much at all. Choose production in Busan. You have just finished a seaport. Again, we're at that stage of the game where there isn't really an awful lot for you to do. We definitely can't afford an engineer. Nowhere near that. Let's just go ahead and... well, what do we want to build, really? Not an awful lot. There's nothing we really need. Go ahead and build a medical lab, just so you've got something to do and you won't bother me for a few turns. So there's a few people just completing Manhattan projects, so the AI is actually quite far behind in terms of tech. We're 9 turns away from getting lasers. Declaration of Friendship has expired. That is with Songhai. Well, obviously you're going to vote on repealing the embargo for Persia because that's your own nation. I don't want this deal. I'm not giving you open borders for a tiny little bit of money. This is what I wanted to look at. We're 9 turns away from lasers, 13 turns away from stealth. By that point, we'll have completed the game anyway, but then only 14 turns away from future tech. We've almost completely filled the tech tree. Now, remember, this is a 750-turn game, so everything's at a slower pace. So there's still potentially over 100 turns remaining in the game. Close to 200, actually. Although it doesn't seem like that when we're already in July of 1964, but still. So we can actually adopt a policy here. And it might be better for us to get some happiness just so we can keep... It doesn't really matter, actually. We did build the East India Company, but it doesn't really need the production. We could go in here and just grab something that gives us happiness. But it's only local happiness for National Wonders. So it's not really going to be a great deal of help. Let's just go ahead and grab this one for the extra culture. It's only a little bit. It's not going to make any difference at this point in the game anyway. This cargo ship is going to carry on. You can go to Gaza, actually, for that extra 1 gold per turn that we're not going to need. So 10 turns away from getting the engine. 6 turns away from the stasis chamber. I was just trying to keep the happiness up because having more happiness than Persia means that we get a little bonus to our religious... to our culture pressure. Wow, you want a research agreement now. I'm just going to say... You want a lot of stuff from me for that. Obviously, we don't need research agreements. We're well up front now. So let's just have a look at this once again. Not that it matters because we're not going to win here, but we should be getting... Yeah, we're not getting that extra bonus for being happier than they... because their happiness is on 88, so we're actually losing that little bit of bonus now. We are still rising with them, but it would be 261 turns, so unless we could repeal the embargo and get a trade route with them, or possibly spam them with missionaries and actually get ourselves a shared religion, it's pretty impossible that we're going to be able to do this as a diplomatic victory. There we go. It's a little bit glitching then. It wasn't too sure whose turn it was. Only 18 turns away before we can get another social policy. We're actually doing quite good in terms of our culture output. 33 turns away for a great scientist, so he's not going to be any use. You want to go to war with Genghis Khan? I don't really. You want to buy cotton. How about you give me 7? We are friends now after all. There you go. That's an extra bit of gold out of you. Did we actually finish that giant death robot? Oh no, 1 turn away. Not too sure what I might do with that. I might use it to go and attack Morocco or something. Haven't quite decided yet. I guess so. Morocco are quite far away. They've just got a lot of these crappy little spam cities. Oh, that's Persia. But they do have these crappy little spam cities here. So we could definitely get ourselves a couple of giant death robots. I've got the uranium. I could probably even go and buy another one. Have we just discovered Prague? How can we have only just met Prague in a game where we've had satellites for ages? That doesn't make any sense. And there's no point bribing all of these guys anyway, because we're not going to get a diplomatic victory, so we don't have to worry about that. So Cusco's finished the giant death robot. How long would it take you to build another giant death robot? 6 turns. Can't build... Well, actually, what we can do is we can move this giant death robot out of the city. Look at it stomp along. I love these things. They remind me of the... I can't remember what they're called now, but in Metal Gear Solid... The big giant robots that make strange mooing noises. Reminds me of those. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves a rocket artillery, because why not? And then we'll get that other robot artillery over there. And, sorry, the other giant death robot over there. And then we'll just go and attack Morocco, because why not? Persia's already at war with them. Unit needs orders. Oh, you've got more movement left. Okay, fine. Move further up then. On to the next turn. And we might even be able to get Persia to pay us to go to war with Morocco anyway. Again, not that it's going to make a lot of difference, because this should be a win. 4 turns away from the stasis chamber. You want gems, that's fine. Well, how about you give me 7 gold per turn? Not that I need it. So 8 turns away from the engine. Yeah, I'll keep open borders with you. I could have probably got that from him more cheaply there, now that we're friends. But again, it doesn't matter. You know, we are literally have won this game. We are just waiting. It's just a formality now. It's just a matter of clicking next turn until the game decides that that we have actually won. So we'll get another giant death robot up here, and then... I mean, 2 giant death robots. These things are absolutely immense. They have a strength of 150. They should be easily able to defeat a city with a combat strength of 62. So we shouldn't have to worry too much there. Let's go ahead and get you over. We'll also try and get over here with our general as well. He'll be a little bit slower. Should have moved him on the previous turn, but that's fine. Unit needs orders. You can move up closer. In fact, no, we don't have open borders anyway. That's fine. You could just stay there on alert mode. On to the next turn. If he gets suspicious and thinks that I'm going to attack him, I might go, yeah, what of it? Yeah, you give me 7 gold per turn. No, see, you won't do that, will you? Do you know what? I'm going to attack you in a couple of turns. It doesn't make any difference. Persia's already attacking you, so... In fact, Persia's already managed to grab Tangier. So, GG Persia. You want to keep buying marble from me, that's fine. Again, pretty much anything at this stage of the game isn't going to make any difference. And I practically have to try to lose the game at this point. Where's that coming from? Have you got... Oh, they've got a carrier down there. I did wonder. And you're attacking the city with your fighters. The AI is very dumb with air units and naval units. The AI just does not know how to do naval combat. Oh, at least he's actually bought a unit he can land, but still. It's not going to work out too well for him. And of course, Manila is Persian. But we're friends with them, so we do still get to see what's going on there. Well, that destroyer is not going to do anything. at all. Especially when they've got an artillery in there and they've got a privateer in there. 4 turns until we get a great writer. It's probably not worth using him for great work at this point. Might as well just pop him for the culture, but I don't even think that's going to make any difference to the outcome of anything. We love the King Day. Oh, Vilnius, just keep discovering places, and I do not know why. Busan has grown. Try not to zoom in accidentally. Let's leave it one more turn so we can actually move forwards with our Great General on the next turn. So you're just going to go on alert. Cargo ship, you are going to go... You might as well go to there. Again, it doesn't really matter all that much. On to the next turn, and then we'll get to use the giant death robots. Unfortunately, they're not, if you've never seen them before, they're not quite as cool as they sound, and it's mainly because they're just basically upgraded tanks, really. Don't expect anything like sectopods from XCOM. They're not quite that cool, which is a shame, really. I think there was a little bit more they could have done with those, but I guess it's because Civ 5 isn't really a future-based game. You know, when they start getting into the future techs like XCOM squads and the giant death robots, they're just not quite as imaginative, and that's pretty much what happened with Beyond Earth. The game just didn't really have an awful lot of imagination. See, if Persia had have managed their fleet better, they could have easily captured that city, but they just went and managed to mess it up. At least Manila's doing a good job of sinking the Moroccan fleet over there, which is nice. Now they can get there. Why have they just moved a privateer out that is, like, more than half dead? They should have kept it in the city. Sometimes the AI makes some really dumb choices. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that's hypocritical, because I make some dumb choices. But the AI makes a lot of dumb choices. So we'll just wait for these city turns to finish doing their thing, and then we'll go and attack Morocco. It might slow things down a little bit, of course, but never mind. So, yeah, what we are going to do, before we actually attack them, we are going to speak to Persia. And we're going to say to Persia, what would you give me to declare war on Morocco? You would actually give me some gold. Would you give me 300? How much do you have? Wow, you have a lot of money, dude. Give me 250. Give me 200. Yeah, he's giving me 200 gold to declare war. That's fine. You got loads of money. You could have easily given me more than that. So what we're going to do now is we are going to... well, we can move up onto the hill because we have 5 movement. So we're going to move up onto here and we are going to attack. Obviously, we will take some damage back. And we are going to move in and attack here. And again, the city's already now down to nothing. We'll just move the general there so that he is safe. And you can... Obviously, we could retreat with these guys if you wanted to, because they are cavalry units, because they're tanks. Which, you know, is a sentence that only makes sense if you play Civilization 5. I appreciate that. They can move after attacking because they're cavalry, because they're tanks, when they're giant death robots. Only in Civilization 5, folks. So Saleh's trying to fend off some of those Persian units. Persia should be able to take that. Agadir is going to attack us, but it's not even going to scratch the paintwork. So we'll be able to use this robot to take Agadir. We'll be able to use this giant death robot to go and kill this missionary. Yeah, you're not really effectively using your aircraft there. That frigate should be able to do enough damage. You should be able to take it with the ironclad. Nope, they've got it. There's Saleh down. So the border colours haven't changed for something. There we go. So the question is, are you going to be able to go and take Uzur... Or are you going to be able to go and take this city? Well, you're doing some damage to it, so I assume you've got something going on there. How many turns are we looking at? 1 turn until the stasis chamber is complete. 5 turns, 4 turns now until the engine is complete. Golden Age has dawned. Can we actually get any additional production here? We are working all of the production slots. We are on production focus. What we could potentially do is Well, we don't want to starve. I was just thinking we could try and grab one of these other production tiles, but it isn't going to make a huge deal of difference. What have we got going on over here? We have completed an aqueduct. I'm just going to go ahead and queue up a marine. It won't even be finished before the end of the game, so it doesn't matter. Assign delegates. Cultural heritage sites, we don't really care. We want to repeal the embargo against Persia. Not that it's going to make any difference now. We have finished the stasis chamber. Again, it doesn't really matter what we build here. Let's go ahead and try and build a... What do we want to try and build here? Again, it doesn't really matter. Let's go and get a missile cruiser just because we can. We are going to add the stasis chamber to the spaceship, which means we're only one part away, 4 turns. Finished rocket artillery. Let's go and build another rocket artillery. This rocket artillery was being built so that we could come over here and try and destroy Agadir, but it isn't really needed. Giant death robot. There you go, free city. We are going to... Oh, we'll just create a puppet. It doesn't really matter at this stage of the game. You're going to go over here and grab these guys. So even though it does actually look like the giant death robot is ranged because it fires rockets, it is still actually a melee unit. It's not a ranged unit. It's a little bit weird because, again, you'd think that a tank would be a ranged unit and not a melee unit. But there you go. Apparently a tank cannot fire a shell further than someone with a bow and arrow can fire an arrow. Now, you're still not going to be willing to give me a good... Oh, you will give me a good deal. Is that because I've got nukes and you're scared that I'm going to destroy you? That, and of course, you do also have the... Oh, right, okay. That, and of course, we do have the same ideology now. Milan has been captured by Morocco. Where was Milan? Was it down? Yeah, they did manage to take it. I'm very surprised about that, actually. I thought Milan was fending them off nicely. But, there you go. Oh, was it Manila that we were looking at before? Ah, yes, it was Manila. I was thinking it was Milan. I'm sure you can forgive me on that one. They're quite similarly named. Similarly. That's not right either. Okay, one turn away from a great writer. I think I'd just pop him for the culture, to be honest. The tourism isn't going to make a great deal of difference now. What actually happened? Oh, that's World Denunciation. What happened in World Congress? Did we actually get the result for that, or was that on the next turn? We've got another spy here who just can't be bothered to use. Repeal embargo Persia passes. Automatic faith purchase. Cultural heritage site passes. Unit promotion, which is this one. You can go and have shock. New unit orders you can heal up. Unit orders. Missionary, we are just going to go and delete it because it's no point to us because it spreads the wrong religion. Nuclear missile. We'll just put you to sleep because we don't really need you. I could go and nuke somebody, but we don't really need to. We could probably move that up to Agadir and nuke this place, actually. Very well. We might do that, actually. We might move that nuke up to Agadir on the next turn. Because we do have 3 turns before it's game over. And I don't think anybody else has nukes. We're going to upset a lot of people. It doesn't really matter at this game. It's also a little bit pointless now that we've repealed the embargo against Persia, because I'm not going to have any free cargo routes unless I build one that can actually trade with them. So there's no point worrying about that at this point. Almost completed lasers as well. And we're a decent way ahead in terms of score. So, Barbarian's taking its time to process there. I'm sure they haven't got any units around anywhere. There's lasers. There we go. Now we're on to stealth. So let's go ahead and take this nuclear missile. And let's go ahead and rebase you up to Agadir. And let's choose a production here because we've finished the medical lab. Just go and build an airport just to keep yourself busy. Nuclear missile, you're out of moves. Giant death robot, you are just going to stay on alert mode. Cargo ship, we can actually go and trade with Passagarde. I wonder if that'll actually make any real difference to anything. I bet it doesn't. 71% now, though. We don't have a shared religion. Would still be 49 turns and 33 turns for Morocco. So, theoretically, in 49 turns, I mean, there are... If we weren't about to get a science win, there are potentially 49 turns left in the game. So if we were to wait another 49 turns, we could get a cultural victory. There is going to be a World Congress vote in 14 turns for the world leader. Delegates needed a 39. We only actually have 30 at the moment. We could potentially get an extra 5. So we still wouldn't be able to do it at the next world leader vote. So that's fine. You guys can just stay here too. Great writer. I think we're actually just going to pop you for the culture. So we can grab a social policy now. So let us get the +4 gold from sea trade routes. Again, it's not needed, but we are just passing the time until we finish the engine here at Daegu, which is 2 turns away. So in 2 turns, this game should be well and truly won. I'm not even going to bother moving my spy around or anything like that. It's just pointless at this point. But we've got to use giant death robots, which we don't normally get to use. I'm going to go and drop a... No, I can't even drop the nuke there now because the Persians have been too quick. Could go and drop it on somebody else, but there isn't really a lot of point. I could put it on... Did I have a carrier? I thought I had a carrier at some point. I do have a missile cruiser, of course. I could put it on the missile cruiser and go and pay them a visit. I guess we could do that. Let's go ahead and see if it'll reach. Nuclear missile, rebase mode. Can we reach the missile? We could also go ahead and put it on a nuclear sub as well if we wanted to. But we'll put it on the missile cruiser. And this missile cruiser, we will head off down here. And we will head towards Morocco. We won't be able to get there in any decent amount of time. Can we cut through land here anywhere? No, we could go over here and just drop it on Fez. I'm not beyond doing that, although I think it'll be game over before then. Cargo routes, I don't really care where you go now. We're literally 1 turn away from winning here. Another nuclear sub, that's fantastic. You can get out there and just go onto alert mode. On to the next turn. Let's just get this over and done with now. We are 1 turn away from getting that. All these extra units that I've just been spitting at because we don't really need them. Massively ahead in terms of tech. Let's have a quick look at the demographics at the moment. We are top on everything apart from population, which is Askia. Which is really strange, because Askia doesn't have all that many cities. But look at his capital. Gao is 43 population. He's gone really, really tall there. Don't know how he's managed that, to be honest. He's only got a few farms, and none of them are on wheat. He's got a couple of camps around, but I don't know how he's managed to get so much food in his capital. That is truly amazing. Let's just get this done. There is the SS engine. We can move it into the city in 1 turn. And let's press the I win button. There we go, the chosen one. We have completed my first game as Korea. Off goes the ship. No, we don't want to go to Beyond Earth. So, demographics, we already knew. We were top of everything. Apparently, Persia are at the bottom of approval. Now, that does surprise me, because Persia were, like, really high up on approval. Mind you, they did take quite a few cities, I suppose. That was probably it. Let us have a look at the ranking. Oh, look, we're top. There is a big surprise. And we'll just have a look at the... is it going to show me the replay? It's been a little bit slow. There we go. So let's just have a look at the graphs there. So what are we looking at there in terms of score? Well, our score was pretty much on par all the way along, and then at this point where we took out the Inca, because that was the demise of the Inca, that line dropping there, we really started to gain some decent score going on. Let's have a look at the culture. See, we were massively outputting culture by the end. I think the only one that was anywhere close was Persia. Persia had a really high culture pool. Excess happiness. Persia always had a lot of happiness all the way through the game, but our happiness was quite good throughout most of it. Food. I'm not sure how Askia. I mean, yeah, look at that. No, that's Mongolia. I wish the colours of the line would represent the colour of the sieve. Dark red, that one. So Songhai had some amazing food output considering they had such small cities. Gold per turn. Again, it looked like it was between me and Persia. And general happiness, not excess happiness. See, we were always happy. And we definitely had the most happiness towards the end. Military might. My military might wasn't even that bad. I mean, considering that I don't play militaristically, my military might was pretty much in the curve there. Askia had nothing. That's Mongolia. I keep seeing orange and assuming that's because it's the orange is Askia's colour, but it's also partly Mongolia's, I suppose. The actual colour of the line represents the inner colour, not the outer colour. But yeah, I'm quite surprised that I had fairly decent military might there. Number of known techs, yeah, we were way out ahead. I mean, we started off below, because you do start off, the AI starts off with a couple of free techs, or is it one free tech at this level? I can't remember, but still, we managed to overtake quite quickly. Number of policies, wow, it looks like there was a few people ahead of us there. Persia were ahead of us in policies. And population, yeah, our population was good. Did say that Songhai beat us towards the end, but I didn't really notice that. What else have we got? Production. Our production was through the roof, which is why we managed to win all of the world projects and stuff. Science per turn. Look at that. I mean, that is why Korea is so overpowered. I mean, I appreciate Emperor isn't the most difficult of the difficulty settings, but just look at that science output. That is absolute, and that was pretty much without any real research agreements. That is pretty insane. That's pretty much anything there that is useful. Let's go and have a look at the map. We'll just play it out, and you can see we started down here in this little section. So the AI tends to grow a little bit quicker. They usually have bonuses to the speed in which their cities expand. And then they usually manage to get a settler out really, really early. It gets much more difficult on high difficulty levels, especially on Deity, when the AI starts with 2 settlers. So, you know, they've got their second city down, usually within a couple of turns of the game starting. Actually managed to get my 3rd city out before Mongolia. Mongolia's still only on 1. The Celts are only still on 2. Persia's on 2. Inca are on 2. So, I think we did pretty well getting those cities out. Persia couldn't really spread them because they were kind of stuck with France. Mongolia never really expanded. I'm very surprised there. They've still only got 1 city. I know Mongolia tends to just take stuff from city-states more than anything else. But I do find it quite surprising that they didn't actually put down a second settler. Even, you know, there we go. They've just actually got their second city by capturing a city-state. And I suppose that makes sense. I suppose they put most of their production into military, and then there's their 3rd city, which is another city-state. So I guess it's just the way that Mongolia works. And there's France blobbing out. There was the fall of the Inca. France were getting pretty big and powerful at that point. And at one point, of course, that means France is the sort of most powerful AI at that point. They've certainly got the most cities at turn 350. They've actually got more than I do. In fact, no, we've both got 5, so we've got the same number of cities there. And there are some borders changing. That's where the Celts actually captured a city-state back from the Mongols. The Mongols actually then went and founded another couple of cities. And the AI just doing its thing where it blobs out and fills in every unoccupied hex on the map. And then you start seeing these Persian troll cities popping up over in the northeast corner of the map. And it should be about this point where I actually went to war with France. There we go. We're starting to take over France, and Persia's took some bits of it as well, which got Persia even stronger. There was the rest of those 3 troll cities from Morocco that all popped up within a couple of turns of each other on the northeast coast. There's Persia finishing off France. There's Mongolia pretty much getting destroyed by the Celts, although they did manage to survive until the end of the game. And you'll just see the last few Moroccan cities drop, and that's it. That is us done. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. We now have a confirmed legitimate victory on Emperor difficulty, even though it was a little bit cheesy due to playing as Korea, having a relatively isolated start. And there was another reason as well that I thought was helping us out, but I can't remember what it is. But either way, I think it's time to move on to Immortal difficulty. So that is what I will be doing in the next series. So until then, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.